As Trump's government shutdown drags into its third week and he renews threats to cut what he calls Democrat programs, this weekend's nationwide protests are coming at just the right time. Hello and welcome to a special edition of the No Kings podcast. I'm Tracy Steele.
Shut up and sit down.
This is America, there's no kings here!
It's been a while since my last episode, and so much has happened. First, the reason I've been away is that I decided to go from community organizer and podcaster to political candidate. I'm running for the Missouri House of Representatives in the 12th District. You can go to my website, steelformissouri.com, if you'd like to support my campaign to restore common sense values to Missouri's government. We held our campaign kickoff recently in Parkville, and I was blown away by the number of people who attended and the energy they brought. I'm so grateful for the support as we launch this effort. It's going to take a lot of help for me to win this race, but it is a race we must win. The incumbent won the seat by less than 200 votes in November, and he did it with a lot of outside help from billionaire donors. That means he is beholden to their radical MAGA agenda, the same agenda that is destroying the state of Missouri, the same agenda that is behind the effort to defund our public schools, the agenda that is making it harder for working people to afford health care and is killing rural hospitals across the state. The same agenda that is responsible for the inflation that we're all feeling, that's making it more expensive to feed your family, to buy clothes for your kids, and to keep a roof over your heads. And the same agenda that is responsible for the out-of-control cost of electricity in Missouri. Now, most of the problems in our state can be traced back to these greedy, right-wing donors, their philosophy of grabbing whatever they can get their hands on and leaving the rest of us to fight over the crumbs. It has taken a toll on the state of Missouri, and it is out of sync with our common sense values, the ones we were taught as kids. At some point, the robber barons have nothing left to rob, and we're just about at that stage. You know, Missouri is at or near the bottom when it comes to state funding of public schools. That's unacceptable. And when I win this election, my number one priority is to fight to fully fund our schools and to stop the practice of siphoning money from public education and into private religious schools. They call it choice. But time and again, we've seen these schemes have the same result. Most of the people who benefit are the wealthy folks who were going to send their kids to private school anyway. It's not choice. It's yet another subsidy for the rich at the expense of the rest of us. I say it's time to end this practice once and for all. Listen, I have nothing against private schools. If you want to send your kids to a private school, go for it. But keep your hands off the money that is supposed to fund our public schools. The way we're going to fully fund our schools is to fix the funding formula. Right now, too much of the burden is placed on local property owners. The state has abdicated its responsibility to educate our kids, and if you own your own home, you feel it every year when the property tax bill arrives. It is time to make educating our kids the priority it deserves to be. I will also fight for women's right to control their own bodies. Ezra Klein took some well-deserved heat recently for suggesting that the way Democrats could win more elections in states like Missouri is to run anti-abortion candidates. Let me be clear. I am a pro-choice Democrat because I know that the only person who should decide whether a woman should have an abortion is that woman herself, period. What I know, and what Ezra Klein apparently doesn't know, is that a majority of Missourians agree with my position on abortion. It was no fluke that we passed a constitutional amendment protecting abortion rights just this past November. And here in Platte County, 62% of the voters approved that measure. Platte County is strongly pro-choice, and so am I. Send me to Jeff City, and I will also defend the working men and women of this state. We have to stop pretending that the members of the billionaire donor class are the only people who matter when it's time to draft legislation. We must invest in projects that will create more high-quality jobs, invest in workforce development, and invest in affordable, attainable housing. And we have to make sure that the federal cuts to programs like SNAP and Medicaid don't leave Missourians hungry and without access to health care. You know, at the heart of all of my positions on these and just about every other issue is a simple phrase: common sense values. I grew up in Northwest Missouri's farm country, and I was taught to help my neighbors whenever they need help, to treat everyone I meet like a human being, the same way I would want to be treated myself. And I was taught that it's wrong to take things that don't belong to me. There's a lot to do. The radicals in control of the Republican Party apparently never learned those lessons, and they've been running the show in Jefferson City for more than 20 years now. If you agree that it's time to replace their agenda with common sense values, please visit steelformissouri.com, where you can contribute to my campaign. You can sign up for my newsletter, or you could register to volunteer. You know, this weekend, all you have to do is check the name of this podcast to guess where I will be. Saturday, it's time for No Kings 2, and I will be participating in the rally at Mill Creek Park. That's the park right across the street from the plaza, starting at 2 o'clock. Organizers are anticipating perhaps the biggest crowd ever for a protest in Kansas City and nationwide. There's a lot to protest. The illegal deployment of troops in American cities, the shutdown of the federal government, Trump's firing of thousands of federal workers in a fit of spite, and the looming cuts to Medicaid and the Obamacare subsidies are just a handful of great reasons to be fired up. Whatever is motivating you, please join us. If the giant crowd is not your thing, there are several smaller events planned all across the KC Metro and many more throughout the state as well. Look up 5051 on social media, and you can find the latest on locations and times. Thanks for joining me for this short, special edition of the No Kings podcast. I'm Tracy Steele. Please like and subscribe and share the link. And most of all, please visit steelformissouri.com and help our campaign to restore common sense values to Missouri's government. Thank you.